Here are the 7 ancient Greeks every queer person should know. Hi there, I'm Chris with a K, and welcome back to This Week in Queer History, where we celebrate queer moments and icons that I wish I had known about as a young gay kid growing up in conservative America. This week we're exploring the 7 most important ancient Greeks your queer little self needs to know. From celebrated poets to revolutionary philosophers, we'll uncover how same-sex love was not only acknowledged, but often celebrated. Get ready to dive deep into the past and perhaps find inspiration for our future.
This week in queer history, stories told with love and glee.
Before we dive in, it's important to understand the world that we're stepping into. Ancient Greece wasn't a single country, but rather a collection of independent city-states like Athens, Sparta, Corinth, and Thebes, and they all flourished between roughly 800 and 146 BCE. And this era, especially from 500 to 300 BCE, was the golden age of philosophy, democracy, poetry, sculpture, and theater. Within this vibrant and intellectual civilization, same-sex relationships, especially between men, were integrated into the social order, and some of these took the form of pederasty, a structured mentorship system between adult men and adolescent boys, a practice that I personally find difficult to reconcile. And while I want to honor and recognize the historical and cultural context in which it existed, I also worry that the structure may not have always accounted for true consent or the emotional maturity of the younger individuals involved. And while other relationships between adults were grounded in love and loyalty and emotional connection, these dynamics, they just depended on time, place, and status. And altogether, they were not hidden or condemned in the way that modern Western cultures have historically treated homosexuality. In fact, bonds between men were often idolized in literature and memorialized in art. Women also had their own special relationships, though often more limited by patriarchal structures. So as we explore these ancient relationships, remember, the idea of being gay or straight would have been foreign to them. Love and desire weren't boxed into binary categories. And while not every practice of these ancient Greeks should be romanticized, pederasty, I'm talking to you, understanding their world helps us reflect on the possibilities for our own. And this is a great time to mention, this episode has a companion piece over on the amazing YouTube channel Unheard History, where Cliff will be diving deeper into why same-sex relationships were so accepted in ancient Greece's society and culture. But now, let's cover the thing you're here for, the 7 most important ancient Greeks you need to know. Harmodius and Astrogeiton. These lovers were known as the Tyrannicides because they assassinated Hipparchus, the tyrant Hippias's brother, in 514 BCE, driven by personal grievances that sparked a larger democratic revolution in Athens. Despite their personal motives, Athenians commemorated their bravery and loyalty as a symbol against tyranny, erecting statues in their honor and solidifying their legacy in art and literature. One of the most famous epigrams dedicated to them declares, "Beloved Harmodius, never shall I forget you. You made Athens equal and free," capturing the profound link between their romantic devotion and their political rebellion. Achilles and Patroclus. Their intense relationship in Homer's Iliad is one of ancient literature's most poignant portrayals of male intimacy. Though Homer never explicitly describes them as lovers, later Greek writers frequently interpreted their bond as romantic. Patroclus' death deeply affected Achilles, leading him to grieve profoundly and return to battle solely to avenge his companion's death. Their bond, described as philos, meaning most beloved, represents an idealized form of male camaraderie and has been debated throughout history as both romantic and platonic. As Plato wrote in his Symposium, Achilles, though he was the younger and the fairer of the two, and much the more valiant, was the lover of Patroclus, capturing the tender complexity many believed existed between them. Alexander the Great. Alexander and his companion Hephaestion shared a profound bond, often compared to Achilles and Patroclus. In Macedonian society, their relationship reflected accepted norms, combining both romantic affection and mentorship. Hephaestion's death deeply affected Alexander, demonstrating their relationship's emotional depth. According to Plutarch, when Hephaestion died, Alexander flung himself on the body of his friend and laid there nearly all day in tears, and later commanded that Hephaestion be honored as a divine hero. This faun also exemplified the complex interplay between same-sex affection, power, and leadership, all influencing the social and political fabric of Alexander's empire. Plato's Symposium profoundly influenced Western thought by exploring love and desire beyond mere physical attraction. Through dialogues, Plato presents love as a philosophical pursuit, a pathway to truth and wisdom, elevating same-sex relationships to virtuous status. His concepts of platonic love have deeply impacted cultural perceptions of same-sex relationships, encouraging ongoing discussions about morality, sexuality, and human connection. As Plato beautifully states in his Symposium, love is the pursuit of the whole, reminding us that connection in all of its forms seeks to complete us. Sappho! Hailing from the island of Lesbos, Sappho openly expressed her love and desire for other women through lyrical poetry, making her an icon for female same-sex relationships. Her vivid, emotional verses provided rare insight into the intimate lives of women in antiquity. Though much of her work survives only in fragments, the impact of her poetry remains powerful, directly influencing the terms sapphic and lesbian, and establishes her as a foundational figure in queer history. One of her most beloved lines captures the intensity of her longing. Someone, I tell you, in another time will remember us. So what would it be like to have your entire society, your entire culture not flinch at you having a same-sex relationship? I mean, imagine growing up knowing that you could share your love with the person that you love without shame or fear. And thinking about ancient Greek society, it reminds me that there are countless ways to live life and that ours isn't the only possibility. So love between consenting adults, it enriches our world, and when allowed, it makes the world a better place. Thanks for joining me as we looked at the 7 ancient Greeks that you should know. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What did you think of this list? Did any of them surprise you? Had you heard of them before? Also, if you want a deeper dive into the sexuality of ancient Greeks, check out this video popping up right over here. It's Cliff's companion piece on Unheard Histories, and it will give you all of the deep dive that you need. So check it out. And last but not least, don't forget to join our mailing list. Link is down in the description below. Until next time, stay strong, stay bold, and keep making history.